I was alluding to it. Ashton Jeanty said I think he was live streaming or something. Somebody asked him what would be the ideal situation you could go to. He said his team that he wants to go to is the Dallas Cowboys. It would be a dream for him to go to the Dallas Cowboys. But let's talk about the future of the Dallas Cowboys for just a second. Now, Jerry Jones and head coach Michael McCarthy could not come to terms on a new contract extension. Michael McCarthy's out. But while at Dallas, this is his resume. He started in 2020. He went 6-10, and he missed the playoffs. In 2021, he went 12-5, was first in the NFC East, lost to the 49ers in the wild card round. In 2022, he was 12-5 again, second in the NFC East. That was the Eagles Super Bowl year. Lost to the 49ers in the divisional round. In 2023, 12-5 again, first in the NFC East. Lost to the Packers in the wild card. And then this year, they went 7-10, missed the playoffs. 2025 Dallas Cowboys. These are the things you have to look for. You got to draft. You have to do a better offseason than you have. You signed one person in the offseason, and your draft was okay. I would give him a pretty good draft. These are their contracts and cap hits for the 2025 season. Dak Prescott, $89.9 million cap hit.
Whoa! His cap hit is more than Patrick Mahomes' in Kansas City.
It is the largest cap hit in history.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to fix that. Yeah,
they're gonna have to do something. Just wait until you hear the second one, because that'll blow your mind even more, knowing the difference between the two.
CeeDee Lamb is the second cap hit. I mean, I understand him, but you just signed him to a contract. $35.5 million. Dak Prescott is almost 3 times as much as CeeDee Lamb's cap hit for the 2025 season. No wonder you didn't sign anybody in free agency.
He's going to have to restructure that deal and take majority of that money up front as a new year signing bonus, workout bonus. He's going to have to what?
Now, these are Micah Parsons is the third, which is $24 million cap hit.
He deserves it.
These contracts, you talk about, I see backloading right here.
Yeah,
these contracts have been all signed within the past year or so.
They're heavily backloaded, and I don't know what Jerry was thinking, because again, unless you're about to trade some of them away this offseason, you about to be on the hook, especially when a new league year starts. He's going to have to restructure deals to where he's going to have to give that money up front and allocate it as a signing bonus, workout bonus. But he's going to have to get down, because Dak's dead, like his cap hit 89.
I mean, it's just you could blow on the money and it'd be $90 million.
Now, I will say though, his cap hit is huge, and that's also something controversial too, because I don't know how he's going to play when he comes back, just because he's been injured, and he injured his lower body again. He hadn't been the same since he messed up his ankle. Go ahead, Nate.
I mean, he hasn't been the same as far as he won't take it down and run, but
yeah,
his
mobile factor's gone.
His mobile factor's gone, but his passing numbers look really good. But Mike's gone, but McCarthy's gone. So,
well, the big thing too is, I mean, he's also aging. He's also aging. Now you got to figure out the contract, but he's also aging. But the thing is, though, is even with those, even with Dak's cap hit and a couple other, they only find themselves. I think, Connor, we looked at it pre-show. They're only like negative $250,000 under the cap. So that's not bad. Yeah, that's negative 250,000. That's not bad at all.
Oh, 1,000. Oh,
You
Wow.
can, yeah. They can. He can
because they didn't
they're-
sign anybody, Nate. They
Well, yeah,
they let
just
them all
nobody-
go.
yeah.
So basically, what we're saying is their money is tied up. Okay, give me. Is this their top 5 like people that they're paying money to? We got
Their
Dak,
top 3.
Dak,
Yeah.
CD, Micah. What about Trayvon Diggs? They're gonna have to play Deron Bland probably pretty soon. Not to mention them linemen.
I think Diggs was at about like 20,000 when we looked at it pre-show. I think Bland was around 20,000. So everybody's kind of got a lower, which they're going to have to pay him soon. But everybody's got a lower contract other than Dak. And listen, here's the thing about Dak's contract. That's just what it takes to sign to guarantee your franchise quarterback now. That's just what it takes now, because every single time you see somebody sign a contract or you see a quarterback sign a contract, you always see in the headline, biggest contract ever for a quarterback in NFL history, because that's just how the money goes.
Yeah, they want to reset the market each year. They want to reset the market, and it's just it's baffling to me because you want to reset the market, but everybody gets your money, but yet you're not going to be able to compete. You know, that's why I love Patrick Mahomes and how Andy Reid took a page out of the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady page after they lost that Super Bowl to Tampa. Hey, listen. You signed this big deal, but let's just go ahead and each year, let's go ahead and restructure your deal so they can free up money. You know, let's free up money and all this stuff. If you play this game to win championships, in which, get your money, but win that first Super Bowl first. Win that first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you think the Cowboys' best case scenario is to backload Dak Prescott's money into a void year and be done with Dak?
Well, no, not necessarily, because we don't know the breakdown of the contract and how much money is guaranteed, how much guaranteed money is left on the deal, and you got to divide that by the years left.
What you also don't know is who they're going to sign as a head coach.
Exactly.
That's what we're supposed to talk about.
They talked with Jerry Jones talked with Dion. That was an ESPN headline. If they sign Dion, Nate and Connor, y'all know who the heck he's going to draft in the first round. He's going to make sure he gets 2 first-round draft picks, and he's going to make sure that he drafts Travis Hunter and he drafts Shadur Sanders. And with him trading for
almost
first-round draft,
impossible, Ty.
Yeah, that's gonna be impossible because of the way.
I don't know.
He's not going to be able to do that.
Listen, Shadur Sanders is on the table if they sign Deion Sanders as their head coach.
They're not going to sign Deion Sanders if he's going to make an emotional draft pick.
But
that's not going to happen.
But let me ask you guys this. Do you guys really think that's happening with Deion and Jerry? Because Jerry wants to still have control over the team. He's not. Jerry wants to be the guy that's doing the interviews. He wants to be the face of the franchise and whatnot. We got two very dominant figures, 2 very dominant personalities. If I'm Prime, I'm staying in Colorado. You got it made.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, he's built so much there already.
Yeah. They gotta go after Glenn. I mean, they gotta go after Glenn. But they gotta go after.
Do you sign a defensive guy or do you sign an offensive guy? Which guy do you think the Dallas Cowboys are going to
They gotta sign. They gotta
sign
a
two
defensive
offensive guys. You've gone through 2 of them.
Defensive guy.
Jason Garrett and Michael McCarthy. You just gone through 2 of them. In what, 25 years, 15 years?
You got to sign a defensive guy because of the way the Eagles, they're just getting better. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels is about to be a problem and a thorn for the next decade.
Yeah.
We don't got to worry about the Giants. But
I mean, there's not going to be many defensive guys left. Mike Vrabel just signed to the Patriots. We had Dan Quinn, just signed to the Commanders. Raheem Morris is on the Falcons now. There's not many left. I mean, if you want a guy, you have to go get him now. You have to get him now.
I don't see Aaron Glenn. I don't see Aaron Glenn going to Dallas because it's not a good situation going into the NFC East. You have the Eagles, who are the top dog, and you got the little pup that's coming, that's biting at the heel, in the Washington Commanders. And you mean to tell me with that team and with that roster and the restructurement of contracts you're going to have to do, that's not a win-win situation. And the expectation is going to be you need to win and win now. That's not it. I would, if anything, if that's the case, I would take the Chicago Bears job, because you're going to have time to grow. They'll give you time to grow, hopefully.
They at least give you a year. They at least got to give you a year. I can kind of agree with you. I don't think it's that attractive of a job, Dallas. I understand it's the Dallas Cowboys, but the situation that they're kind of in, it's just kind of I don't like it. I think they have to go after a defensive guy. Listen, they have weapons on the offensive side of the ball, and you mentioned, and I agree with this, and Connor agrees with this. As long as he stays healthy, Dak throws the ball well, right? Obviously, the knock on him is the clutch factor is just not there, and it really hadn't ever been there. But he throws the ball well. And listen, if you surround him with good talent and he doesn't win, then you just got to move on. I think what they can do, and I think they can find a way to restructure some contracts. I think they can find a way to let some guys go. And, they can get over the cap, fairly easy, being minus $250,000. They can get over the cap. They can, make enough wiggle room to try and go get or sign some free agent acquisitions. They got to get a freaking head coach. Obviously, they got to get a staff pulled together. I think you go defensive guy. I don't know why they hadn't hired Aaron Glenn yet. I just think they have to go defensive, and that's what I think.
Okay, you look at it. Every head coach that comes into a new team is going to have a guy. Raheem Morris, his guy was Michael Penix last year. Dan Quinn, we can say his guy was probably Jazon Newton, maybe someone like that. I don't know. I can't say his guy was Jaden Daniels, because probably the whole franchise wanted Jaden Daniels. Who's going to be the guy that Dallas is looking for in this next upcoming draft? First of all, we have to highlight a need. Second of all, who's the guy that best fulfills that need with the draft pick Dallas has?
You want a need and you want a guy? What has been missing now? Obviously, let's just say Dak was playing all this year, okay? When Dak was playing and that team had their full offense healthy, what was missing from that offense?
Run game, brother.
You got to go get Ashton Jeanty. I think you got to go get Ashton Jeanty. I think you can be aggressive and trade up for him if you think he's going to go higher than what you have. What pick do they have right now?
I'm trying to look at that.
It's like they got to be around 12
like
15th or 14.
Or something.
They got to be around the 12 to 15 mark. But
they are the 12th team.
The 12th pick. If you think you need to trade up,
possible,
you trade up.
Man.
But he could definitely slip to 12.
Possible.
I think he could slip to 12.
Well, let's look at the teams before it. The Titans, they won't draft a running back. The Browns won't draft a running back. Giants,
no.
Maybe.
Tyrone Tracy is a bright spot for them.
Patriots, they might.
I don't know. They just need some sort of. Yeah, they really could, because they need some sort of, good on that offense other than Drake May.
Jaguars, probably not. The Raiders, they're probably the most quarterback needy franchise right now. The Jets, probably not.
No, you got Breece Hall. No.
Panthers, Chuba Hubbard signed a contract extension. Saints, probably not.
Probably not.
Bears,
we'll ride one more year.
You sign Swift. 49ers, you have Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey will come back.
He's getting older.
So the only team
that leaves the Dallas Cowboys after the 49ers.
The only team was who? Probably maybe the Patriots.
Maybe.
But I think you can trade. If you need to, you trade up and go get him. O-line, okay. But you need. They had no run game.
None, absolutely none. It's horrible.
No run.
That's why Dak got injured. He had to throw the ball 50 times.
Yeah. So you gotta have a run game. I understand offensive line is important. you got to have somebody that can run the football and tote the rock. Ashton Genty is more than enough of the guy to do it. I think you got to find a way to get Ashton Genty, but you got to also find a way to clear your money and sign some guys in free agency, to improve that team. You can't sign one guy and expect to be good, especially with all the. I mean, there's a lot of bad teams, but there's a lot of pretty good teams in the NFL this year, especially with what's like that on the table. You gotta be more aggressive in free agency.
That's the hard part, though, is freeing up that money. It's a numbers game. Numbers can be for you or they can be against you. And right now, they're against the Dallas Cowboys because of what Jerry Jones has decided to do. I get he wants to pay Dak a bunch of money. I get that's what you have to do with the quarterback. Same with a wide receiver. Jerry Jones, we thought it would never happen where he would give a contract extension to a wide receiver because it didn't happen with Irvin. It didn't happen with Bryant. And now it happened with CD Lamb. So we got that. Micah Parsons, you got to have your defensive guy, and he's the guy.
Same
but now
with Diggs
you got
too.
to, yeah, maybe Diggs, but he's
And
getting paid
Bland.
a little bit. I don't know when his contract ends. Now you have a need of a running game. You probably had one of the worst, if not the worst, running offense in the league. We can look at that in just a second. You got to get your guy. And I'm going to agree with you, Ty. Their guy's Ashton Genty, and it is all written in the stars. You got the dude saying on live stream he wants to be a Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
It's written in the stars, Ty. If the Cowboys get Ashton Genty, we might see a little bit of light coming from that franchise. But it's interesting because when you have a fan base like the Cowboys, every year they're going to expect a winning season. And it puts so much pressure on that front office. Puts so much pressure on Jerry Jones to say, what's going to be the best move to get me to that winning season my fans desire? And honestly, it's horrible. We could say the same thing for the New Orleans Saints. Right here. The fans are an issue. The less you want and the more you try to highlight needs for your team, the more your team's going to feel less pressure to succeed. Success can be a natural thing. We've seen it. I mean, shoot, we just saw it with the Commanders. Natural. Head coach. You drafted well. You signed well. And guess what? You played well. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science.
Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's a perfect example.
Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, he have a rough first year, and then you have a great 2 drafts, and then, look where they are now. But they got to sign the right head coach, and they got to start. They got to draft well this year, and they got to make the free agent acquisitions. Maybe towards the offensive line, they could start. They could go into free agency and look, and but yeah. It's going to be, and you talk about the fans too. Sometimes I just think Dallas fans are stupid, man. I don't know what they expect. They shouldn't expect to win every year. I understand it's the Dallas Cowboys. They're America's team. You're at a point right now where you're in a tough situation. You got 2 teams in a tough division, right? That are going to be really good. You got to understand that. You got to understand that your team is missing a couple of key things, and you're about to go through a coaching change, which is always trouble. You got to understand that you're at a crossroads right now. You don't need to expect a winning season. You just need to have a free and open mind. You need to expect that your franchise does the right things in order to have a winning season, and that's all you need to expect. You don't need to expect a winning season right now. You just need to have the mindset of, hey, we need to go sign guys. We need to improve this roster. We need to improve the depth on this roster. And first and foremost, you need to sign a coach and a staff. But then you need to do the right things to get the players that are important and then you worry about the season. Stop thinking so much about, oh, we failed, we had a terrible season. I think Dallas fans do that too much. Understand where you are as a franchise right now and adjust and adjust how you think about things.
So after a head coach is acquired, when will the Dallas Cowboys be put back in a championship position? And that answer is it starts with the draft.